Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHONJ Kyle Richards struggles with RHONJ reboot. RHONJ star and OG Kyle Richards is admittedly struggling with the idea of a RHONJ reboot. She is currently filming her 14th season of the BH franchise. That is the same season New Jersey is currently on, and they are facing the possibility of many changes. So what are Kyle's exact thoughts? Keep reading for more details. RHONJ Kyle Richards struggles with RHONJ reboot. Kyle Richards has been on RHONJ since its inception, yet she has often questioned if she wants to stay or if it is time to hang her hat up. The last 2 seasons have been incredibly hard for the actress and mom of 4. In season 12, she came to blows with her older sister, Kathy Hilton. Their relationship was beyond repair, and it took some time for them to even speak. In season 13, Kyle and her husband of nearly 30 years, Mauricio Umansky, struggled in their marriage and have since called it quits. It was rumored that she had to be completely transparent to even return for season 14, but at that point, she did not know if she was done or not. She did agree to return, but her friendships are on the rocks, and so much is up in the air. This is much like RHONJ, which is facing a plethora of struggles and cast separations. There have been talks of rebooting the show partially or entirely, but does Kyle think that is a good idea? After all, she is in the Bravoverse and has been for 14 years. While doing an Amazon Live, she was asked her thoughts on an RHONJ reboot, according to Monsters and Critics. A follower had this to say to Kyle. This could be because she is going into her 14th season, so she would not want to be in the same situation where they reboot RHONJ. A scary prospect. RHONJ is not having a reunion at the end of the current season. Due to this, fans are left wondering if it is the end of the show. There is a good reason for that, as RHONJ was left without a season 13 reunion and then went on hiatus. It came back with a completely new cast and at RHONJ Legacy Cast Edition. Andy Cohen has said that the season finale will make everything come together. Thus, it will make sense why there is no season 14 reunion. He also stated there would be a breather before any casting decisions are made. Here's a creative draft about Kyle Richards from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills struggling with the RHONJ reboot. This is a long-form piece that delves into the dynamics between these two iconic Real Housewives franchises. Kyle Richards faces a crossroads, struggling with the RHONJ reboot and what it means for the future of RHONJ. In the glittering world of reality television, where drama is currency and relationships are forged under the glaring spotlight, 2 franchises reign supreme. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, RHONJ, and The Real Housewives of New Jersey, RHONJ. Both shows have built legacies on the backs of their strong-willed, glamorous cast members. But what happens when one queen bee feels threatened by the reboot of another's hive? Kyle Richards, a stalwart of RHONJ, has faced countless challenges over the years. From navigating the turbulence of her friendships to dealing with family drama that spilled over into the public eye, Kyle has always managed to keep her cool, or at least, maintain her position. But with the highly anticipated RHONJ reboot on the horizon, it seems the reality TV veteran may be facing one of her biggest challenges yet. The shadow of the reboot. A new era for RHONJ. The reboot of The Real Housewives of New Jersey was announced with much fanfare. After several seasons that left fans craving the original magic of the show, producers decided to shake things up. They promised a return to the gritty, authentic drama that made RHONJ a must-watch in its early days. The reboot would bring back familiar faces while introducing new ones, all while exploring fresh storylines that reflect the current reality of its stars. But while fans of RHONJ celebrated the news, the mood in Beverly Hills was far more somber. Kyle Richards, a pillar of the RHONJ franchise, couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. Though the RHONJ cast has faced its own share of changes, the idea of a reboot that could overshadow her show was unsettling. Kyle, who has long been the unofficial leader of the Beverly Hills Ensemble, suddenly found herself wondering what the future held for RHONJ. The reboot of RHONJ represented not just a reinvigoration of the New Jersey franchise, but potentially a blueprint for the future of all Real Housewives shows, including hers. The anxiety of relevance. Will RHOB be next? For years, Kyle has worked hard to keep RHOBH at the forefront of the Real Housewives universe. She's navigated cast shakeups, scandals, and the ever-changing tastes of viewers, all while ensuring that the show remained relevant. But as whispers of an RHOBH reboot began to circulate, Kyle couldn't shake the feeling that her reign might be nearing its end. Kyle's concerns weren't just about losing her spot as the alpha housewife. They were also about what a reboot could mean for the entire RHOBH brand. Would it dilute the essence of the show she had fought so hard to build? Would the introduction of new cast members and storylines alienate loyal viewers? And most importantly, would a reboot mean that Kyle would have to start all over again, re-establishing her dominance in a new and uncertain landscape? The anxiety weighed heavily on Kyle, who had seen firsthand how the brutal world of reality television could turn on its own. She had watched as former castmates faded into obscurity, their relevance dwindling as new stars emerged. The idea of becoming one of those forgotten faces was terrifying. A fractured alliance, Kyle and the RHOBH cast As news of the RHONJ reboot spread, the dynamics within the RHOBH cast began to shift. Kyle, once the glue that held the group together, found herself at odds with some of her closest allies. The prospect of a reboot brought to the surface simmering tensions and old resentments, threatening to tear apart the fragile alliances that had been formed over the years. Lisa Rinna, Kyle's longtime friend and sometimes rival, was one of the first to voice her concerns. Never one to mince words, Rinna questioned whether Kyle's fears were really about the show or about her own insecurities. "Kyle, darling, you've been the queen for so long," Rinna said during a particularly heated exchange. "But maybe it's time for a new regime." Rinna's words cut deep. For years, Kyle had prided herself on being the show's moral compass, the one who could be counted on to bring a sense of stability to the group. But now, with the threat of a reboot looming, she found herself questioning everything. Was she really as indispensable as she thought, or was it possible that the show could go on without her? The tension didn't stop with Rinna. Erika Jayne, who had always marched to the beat of her own drum, seemed less invested in the group's dynamics than ever before. She was focused on her own legal battles and career aspirations, leaving little room for Kyle's concerns about the show's future. "I've got my own problems, Kyle," Erika said dismissively. "I can't worry about what might happen to the show. We all knew this gig wouldn't last forever." Even Dorrit Kemsley, who had once been one of Kyle's closest confidants, seemed distant. The stress of maintaining her own lavish lifestyle and dealing with public scrutiny had taken its toll, and Dorrit wasn't interested in getting involved in Kyle's existential crisis. "We've had a good run, haven't we?" Dorrit mused during a quiet moment with Kyle. "But maybe it's time for something new. Maybe the show needs to evolve, and we need to evolve with it." For the first time in years, Kyle felt alone. The women she had once considered her sisters were now more concerned with their own survival than with preserving the legacy of RHOBH. The realization was a bitter pill to swallow. Facing the future. A new chapter or the end of an era. As the premiere of the RHONJ reboot drew closer, Kyle found herself at a crossroads. She could continue to fight to maintain her position as the queen of RHOBH, or she could embrace the change that was coming and adapt to whatever the future held.